said I want to be a mover when I grow up. It just happens, man, and it stuck with me.
Yeah.
I just see myself doing this, and then moving on forward. I see myself with a lot of things that I got going on.
Yeah.
We used to make $10 shoveling, $5 shoveling snow. That was like a big hustle at that point in time. So that's how we kind of started. And
so like now it's just a different feeling when it's kids. Like kids are priceless. You know, you can have a bad day and run into a kid and like they just so innocent. So that gave us peace of mind to just know like we is doing the right thing. We own something. Even though it's hard, we just gotta stay focused and keep going with it.
And it's not for us. Like essentially it's for the kids. So as long as like we keep that mindset that it's not for us, we're doing this for a bigger reason. Like that's the real reason. Like and it will work out eventually.
So as far as staying in your own lane, what I call it personally is tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Right? When I go into tunnel vision, it's like nothing or no one is going to stop me.
Yeah.
And I think that's a personal thing that everybody needs to do.
Absolutely.
Because it's like when you're in tunnel vision, it don't matter who doing what. It don't matter what you're doing. For me, when I'm in tunnel vision, I distract all distractions. Like I eliminate all distractions.
Want to be a guest on our show? We're always looking for entrepreneurs, business owners, side hustlers, and career shifters that are willing to share their life and business experiences, strategies, lessons learned, and pitfalls to avoid with our listeners. If you would like to be considered as a guest on an upcoming episode, email us at empower716@gmail.com. and include your contact information along with background information about your business and share what value you can add to our listeners. Want to stay up to date with Empower716? Don't forget to share. Click here in the right-hand corner of the video and follow button below so you can see the upcoming episodes live on your news feed. Find Empower716 on LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Facebook, and other audio platforms.
Welcome to another episode of Empower716. I am your host, Rob Lowry, and this is a podcast dedicated to business owners, entrepreneurs, side hustlers, career shifters, those who are committed to growing their life and business. So if you are new to Empower716, I'm telling you, this is the place to be because this is where we highlight, showcase entrepreneurs and business owners in Western New York who are doing some great things. And each of our guests talk about their entrepreneurial journey. And I think there's something that all of us can learn from someone else's journey, the good, the bad, and what not to do, what to stay away from, and then what can keep us inspired, what can keep us motivated, because I believe it takes not just one person, it takes all of us to work together to rebuild our community. And so sometimes even in the world of being an entrepreneur, you may feel like you're by yourself. And so there's a lot of people in Western New York who are doing some great things and willing to share their journeys to help other people. And I think that's really great. And so I am honored to have these two, I'm going to call them young ladies, because who have started a business in Niagara Falls, New York, my hometown. And so it's always great things to see businesses starting in the Niagara Falls area, which is great. And then people of color, there's a lot of things buzzing in Niagara Falls. And so I'm happy that Shanna and Sheree Smith are here to talk about their business, Game On Entertainment. Welcome to the show. You know, a lot of people talk about being an entrepreneur and by yourself is really challenging. How did you guys decide to come together?
We've been doing this since 2017. My daughter has started. We had lost my grandmother from lupus, and my grandmother was just active in the community. Everything that she did, she didn't have much, but she always found a way to feed you, clothe you, whatever she had, it was yours. So when she passed, we wanted to find a way to keep her legacy going. So my 6-year-old daughter, we created Sugar Lips by Shania K. So that's where she made her own lip gloss, and we were taking the proceeds, donating it to lupus. So from there, we did a lot of community events. Like we did toy drives for Christmas. We did back to school drives. Like any event, we were always out in the community, but we couldn't find a way to get kids in one space. So that's how we got to Game On. So we just moved over.
I think as far as like us working together and like she did, we did start, like she mentioned, we did start this in 2017 with her daughter's business, and we've always worked well together. Like we don't seem to bump heads a lot like a lot of siblings do. We do have different personalities. However, she's a Pisces, I'm an Aries, and Pisces is Aries' best friend. So before we're sisters, we are very close in friendship as well. So we do work well together. We do have situations where we disagree, but we know how to communicate the disagreement, and we know how to meet each other in the middle and come into one accord. However, I do think that us starting her daughter's business, we kind of really branched off of that. Like for her, it was more business. For her daughter, it was fun and business. She was starting to learn the whole entrepreneurial field. For me, it was all fun. Like, I didn't know that I was interested in the business world. Like, I wasn't sure that that was something that, like, and at the time, just, like, doing all these, before I had the opportunity to actually experience it, but someone telling me, oh, we're going to have this event. We're going to put this event together with all of our money. And then we're going to give all this free stuff to everybody else. And then we're going to take the little bit of money that we do make off of the event, and then we're going to donate it to a charity. Like, mentally for me, I'm like, what? That doesn't sound like something I want to do. But when I actually did it, I was like, you feel so good. Yeah. And the reaction you get to other people, like, I always tell her, like, I have to give all the congratulations, all the attention to my niece, because she kind of got me into wanting to do this, wanting to give back to people, and I didn't know that I was going to feel so good about it. Wow. I like doing stuff like that now more than working on any of my businesses, because you have to get down to business when you do your business. For that, it's like you really don't feel like you're doing business. Like, you feel like you're doing something good for the people. So I do think that's kind of like how we started to come together, because she already had that type of attitude, and they had to work on me. So once I came along and I was able to meet them in the middle with that, I think that we definitely worked great together.
Because the blessings, they come. The more you give back, the more eventually you're gonna get back.
Absolutely.
So that's how, like, and we were getting, like, our community, like, people say what they want about Niagara Falls. One thing, Niagara Falls, it's a giving community. Yeah. We got donations, like, far as, like, little donations to big donations. Like, anybody was just donating to us, like cards, money, toys. Like, we gave out big gifts to kids. So
over the year, that grew. That was just from sugar lips. That's just from, like, little lip glosses. So the more we did, like, then we started to do, she kind of got us into our own businesses. So it went from her daughter's to her personal business to my personal business, and now we have a business together. And then, like she said, it went from little donations to people were, like, say someone donated, I don't know, $5. Now we're getting, like, 60-inch free TVs, like, for our business. Like, we couldn't be more thankful, honestly. It's like, my sister told me this a long time ago, that you do have to give a little to get a lot. Yeah. Like, and now I kind of understand what that means. Like, and when you're doing it out the kindness of your heart, then it will come back to you in some way. It might not come back as fast as you were giving it out, but it will return.
It's so weird, because our father been at his job 32 years. One job. Yeah. 32 years, never called off, never late, perfect attendance. Like, he's strict on his job. So when we came with him, like, we want to do a business, like, he like, no, you gotta work a job. So now we finally got him to be a believer. Like, he know the stuff that we can do. He's supporting us. So his generation versus our generation is so different. Yes. Nobody in our family had their own business, but they were just workers. But when they work hard. So we had to tie it in. Now our dad is on the team, and he does a lot for Game On. a lot. We couldn't have did this without our father.
Honestly, like she said, we were the first ones to do it, but our grandmother was active, like she said, in the community. So even though she didn't have her own business, everybody came to her for everything.
Yeah.
So everybody depended on her, and looking back on it, like since she's gone, it's kind of like, it's funny because it's like she didn't have anything to give. But my sister would be like, oh, well, just like, somebody to talk to, like somebody that's going to smile. Like, so, like you really overlook like how important that is to have in your life. Like, so I think that us being able to carry on the legacy and being the first ones to do it, that's why even with Game On and the education part that we're trying to add into it, excuse me, we do have a shadowing program. And the shadowing program allows students and youth to come follow us around Game On, learn the business of Game On Entertainment. And it also shows you the basic fundamentals of owning your own business and starting up your own business, because what Game On has taught me personally is that you can make a business off of playing video games, building your own video games. Like, and we're, as parents, like, we're always yelling at our kids for being on the video game.
Right.
But some of these kids are making money off of competing on these video games. And it's like, any little thing, the littlest thing, like what we think is just so small, you can make money off of, you can turn into a career. So we're trying to teach these kids, like, do what you love to do. Like, if you know what you love to do, like, and you want to pursue it, we can help you figure out a way to make a career out of it. So that's really what the shadowing program entails, and we're trying to push that onto kids to kind of get them to look at life differently, instead of, you don't always have to go work a corporate job, or you don't have to, like, go follow in someone else's footsteps. You can be a leader too. Like, so that's pretty much what we're trying to push to the kids.
When you look out your door, it's nothing that's going to motivate you.
Yeah.
So you really got to fight a mindset to, like, really want more and do more and just be better. Overall, I see Niagara Falls growing. Yeah. And my sister been trying to get me to leave it for years. Not to say I'm gonna stay. Right. I don't know what the future is gonna hold. However, I do see, like, for me growing up in the 80s, we had stuff to do without even having stuff to do. Yep. We could walk down the street and just have fun. That's not the same anymore. You have to be able to make your own fun. You have to go to different places. You just got to be open-minded to doing different things as well. I think overall in the next couple of years, it's going to grow. It'll get that love back, because the community is coming out more. People is doing more events. It's more stuff now that you can do, and the more that it grows, I think people will want to stay.
I tried to do the move. So I just came back recently from Dallas, Texas, to help open up the business, and my sister was holding it down for a long time by herself. So I will agree with one part, with the whole walking outside and not seeing no type of motivation. Walking outside of Dallas I told my sister, as soon as I moved there, as soon as I went outside, probably 48 hours from moving there, like, ideas was just jumping in my head. Like, I could name 10 businesses I called her and just came out of nowhere. Like, so I do agree with, you walk outside and it's like no ideas are forming in my head. Like, so I will say sometimes it's good to get away. But as far as dealing with the negativity, when you did ask that question, kind of reminded me of early into us promoting our grand opening, we had so many shares. Like, it was really getting out there. Like, we had to have like 600 plus shares. Like, we did really good. So many comments, and I couldn't even go through all the comments. But one of the comments that stood out to me was, a lady had asked, how will we handle a situation in which we got a troubled child, and I guess if the troubled child was causing some type of issue or some type of trouble in Game On, how will we handle it? And at the time, I couldn't answer that question. And like I said, I wasn't really answering anyone because it was just so many. It was so many comments. But I later on brought it up to my sister and was like, well, we really do need to have this discussion. Like, how will we? Because we're assuming, because when we started this business, we started it off the ideas of family, and we started it off the ideas of the friends of our own kids.
Yeah.
So we assumed the kids that we're gonna get is our family, and then our kids' kids. Like, we never really looked past that. Like, and as like we go on, we're starting to see it grow, and we even talked about like, wow, this could be like something that's like gonna be several game ons. Like, when we didn't see it that far when we first started it was just supposed to be like a small, like, you know, place for the kids to come to. So when we talked about it, we're like, maybe we do need to come up with some type of solution, because this could happen.
Yeah, we all got to be a team, and that's the thing with Niagara Falls being so small. It's a benefit because we know everybody.
Yeah.
So to have that awkward conversation, like, oh, Joey came in here, he was acting up today. We got to talk to you, you know, like, we got to talk to the mom, we got to talk to the dads. Everybody, it take a village.
Yeah.
So what we want to initially do is just bring that village back in one place, and we all working together. Kids are safe, they're having a good time, and at the same time they're learning something. So now you can learn how to build your own video game. You can make money, you know. That's overall our goal.
I like that. Now, explain to me how the membership works. Like, you know, if a kid wants to be involved, or a parent is watching this and say, I want to send my kid to Game On Entertainment, how's the process work?
Okay, so you can get a daily pass for $15. You can get a weekly pass for $50, or a monthly pass for $75. And my sister came up with a summer program that's going to start as soon as school ends.
That'll be July 11th, I believe.
Yes.
So just to mention what's included in the membership. So we're trying to push memberships because memberships give you access to not only all the games, all the entertainment inside Game On Entertainment, but it also allows you 15% off of the gift shop. It allows you 10% off of any party or event that you may choose to have at Game On. It allows you one guest at no additional charge. Nice. And it allows you, being a member allows you to bring in your own outside games, as long as it's approved by, management. So that's with the memberships. That's everything that's included in the membership. I try to push that over the day pass because you get a lot more with it. And then for the summer passes that we have, it's $85 for the entire summer. So that's from July until September, from the time the kids get out of school to the time they return back to school. It's $85 because we try to instill in our own children to minimum bring home an 85 average. 85 average is commendable achievement. Yes. So, that shows you tried your best and you did a little bit more than trying your best. So we're trying to push that if we can get kids to meet an 85 or higher average, then they can get the entire summer for $85.
That's a good deal. That is really a good deal.
And that's a benefit because you want to be able to work towards something.
Yeah.
We want to show these kids, like, you want to work towards keeping your grades up so that way you can be rewarded by coming here.
Right. I like that piece, that incentive. I think that's really important. And one thing I really like about your business model, because I think obviously I worked for a few nonprofits and youth-based organizations, and knowing that kids have different needs, and I know everyone, I think over the years I'm a big, a huge advocate for education, right? But I also believe, like, when you look at sports and how sports will speak to some kids who may not be academically strong first, but it may be the anchor that if I got the sport is going to draw me to be more inclined to be or receptive to education and realize I got to work to get this, like you kind of said before. I want to talk about some of the area, like far as support from the community. You talked about like just having a good week of getting some more support. How are you guys pushing the word out, like marketing and things of that nature for your business?
Mainly just social media and word of mouth. We've been daily getting flyers made. We've been just walking around the community, handing the flyers out, talking to people directly. We've been getting more feedback that way. Just handing out the flyers. We have our own social media outlets, our social media pages, so we have been pushing it through there. We've been boosting them so that it's reaching a little bit
nice,
a wider crowd. And
our
that's pretty
website
much-
is in the making. We had to go back and like revamp that because we started this process like 8 months ago, a little over 8 months ago. And the hardest part is like they don't tell you what happens to actually open up a business, how hard that is. So we did start our website, then everybody can go to the website. On the website, you will also be able to pay for your memberships and sign up if you needed to book a party or anything like that. So that's where we're at with that. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. And that's what people don't tell you. And it's a great learning lesson.
Yeah.
Because now when we go to do it again, we'll know not what to do.
Yeah.
You know, so we're going to open up another one or another business. Now we know every step. Working with the city, your permits, you got to start there.
Yeah.
You got to know what you need and what you don't need. Your electricians, all of that was the hard work. We started off originally being inside the Factory Outlet Mall before we got to Pine Avenue. So the business took a drop before it even opened. We had to find something that was going to work for us.
Yeah.
And ideally where we thought the mall was going to work, it didn't.
Yeah.
Then we got to Pine Avenue, and this building was like so old.
Mm-hmm.
So when we fixed one thing, they wanted something else to fix. Money was gone.
Yeah.
The whole process took so long, but now we're open. Thank God.
Yeah, I'll definitely say that it was hard. It's not for the weak. My only advice, my best advice to people trying to open up a business is you have to be patient. It taught me patience. Like, just when you think, oh, they're coming to inspect tomorrow. Like, tomorrow we're going to be ready there. And I'm like, no, I think I'm going to make you wait another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, like, now it's just a different feeling when it's kids. Like, kids are priceless, you know. You can have a bad day and run into a kid and, like, they just so innocent. So that gave us peace of mind to just know, like, we is doing the right thing. We own something. Even though it's hard, we just got to stay focused and keep going with it.
And it's not for us. Like, essentially, it's for the kids. So as long as, like, we keep that mindset that it's not for us, we're doing this for a bigger reason, like, then, I mean, I don't want to say, like, but the truth is we've already saved our kids. We've already put ourselves in a good position. So we've already, you know, put our kids on the right track to where they will be okay.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to save everyone else's kids, or as many kids as we can, even if it's only one kid. So I do think that, you know, like she said, the reactions of the kids keep you going. We have 2 kids coming. Like, we're not getting that many kids in. We had 2 kids coming. The whole shift was hilarious, and when no kids come in, we're so bored, like, and we're ready to go home. We're trying to talk each other out of closing early, like, so even if it's just the kids are so funny. It's like, it makes you so happy you did it. Like, even if there's no money coming in, it makes you feel like we did the right thing. And it will work out eventually. Like, it confirms that every time we do get a kid to walk in the door, even if it's just a kid walking past, like, as excited as they get just to come in and look and be able to go tell their parents, like, that's the real reason. Like, and it will work out eventually.
Oh, absolutely. What advice, especially for those in Niagara Falls community that are thinking about starting their business? Because there's a lot of business popping up now over these last few years. But what advice would you give them now that you've kind of gone through the process?
I think Niagara Falls is finally, they know now.
Yeah.
When we had our grand opening, 2 other small businesses opened on that same day.
Yeah.
And they were both females, and they were both Black.
Yeah.
In the same
That's
day. I
dope.
feel like that got to be some type of history. Like, I never seen nothing like that.
That's dope.
We have more restaurants coming. We got people doing glam shops. Like, it's stuff that's really coming. People are really going to the wave of, like, starting on their own business. Like, but now it's just got to make sure that if we open up on day 1, that we are all around next year.
Yeah.
And that these doors are still open. So if we can work together as entrepreneurs, like, and I'm not, even if it's not hands-on, but, like, if you know a resource or if you know something, like, just give that information out. That's what I would say. Like, let's communicate to help each other out.
We are located in Niagara Falls, 2526 Pine Avenue. You can also find us on social media. We have an Instagram. Our Instagram name is Game On Entertainment 716. And then Shanna Smith Share Smith on Facebook. And then we have like a little tagline of Game On our Facebook pages. But I encourage you to go to the Instagram. That will be the most reliable source until
the website
is finished. Yep.
Appreciate you coming out to Empower716 to kind of share your journey and your business
Thank you.
and all the information.
Thank you for having us.
You're very welcome. The information is on the screen. Game On Entertainment. Make sure you check them out. Again, we talked about their sponsorships. If you want to sponsor as a company, as an individual, make sure you hit them up and just really help our young people. We need all the resources we can to put our arms around our young people to make sure they have support systems in this community of Western New York. I have the privilege to welcome to our show two young gentlemen who are doing their thing in Buffalo, New York, in regards to the moving and landscaping and some other things they're going to talk about.
My name is Bryant Zeigle. First, I want to say thank you for having us on here. A little background about myself. I am a part owner of Bros & Company. We are a moving and landscaping company in Buffalo, New York. The one thing that we try to do is have the best price in Buffalo. We are very fair with our customers. On the side of landscaping, we cut the grass, we do mulching, we do tree trimming. We do like grass cutting twice a month, every 2 weeks. As far as moving, we are very busy with the moving. You can find us on Facebook at Bros & Company. They love us on Facebook.
Because they're doing your thing.
Yeah, they love us on Facebook because you connect with so many people through Facebook, and then you have things like different groups like Marketplace and things like that. You be able to post your pictures and your business and like stuff. They got black business on there, black groups on there. So Facebook is like the number one, but you can always contact us at 716-220-7136. And my partner right here is speaking for the rest.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Cordell Torres, for those who don't know. And I do want to say I appreciate you for letting us on to Empower716. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
I was raised there half my life, and then for the remainder here in Buffalo. And to kind of piggyback off Brian, as far as moving, I can't even tell you how long we've really been doing it as far as just moving stuff, like you said, since a kid, moving everything, and only getting paid in food and drinks. We ain't get $20. Be happy to get food and drinks. And landscaping is something we start to pick up a little later in life for sure for me. And that's pretty much it though. A lot of stuff we do is definitely through Facebook and social media. It's a new day and age, so I think that's the best way to get a hold of people, or for people to get a hold of us as well.
Okay, awesome.
When I was young, I always been a hustler.
Yeah.
Like my first job to me was taking bottles back. That's how I earned my money. I would save up the bottle because my family, every Friday at my grandma's house, we always, all the grown-ups for party and the kids be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just collect all the bottles. From there, I always figured out how to have a side hustle. Like one income is not enough.
Absolutely.
So you got to find ways to get more money, to have more opportunities.
Yeah.
So through the process of just like finding different jobs, like I probably didn't work for every driving job maybe it is in Buffalo. Like, that's like one thing I do love is driving. Like, and I picked up at ABC when I was 13 years old. Rest in peace to my uncle. He passed away. He actually, when I started me in with moving, I remember being 13 years old and being in the back of the moving truck with the door closed by myself. And I wasn't mad because I understood that I was the new guy.
Yep.
I understand I had to grow, I had to show. So I started off with just moving boxes.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to pick up a table, none of that. So he actually started me. It was at ABC Moving Company on Genesee Street.
Wow.
And again, RIP to my uncle. Because without him, I wouldn't even have this moving company. So it started with that as well, and then I picked up other side hustles like rent a center. One point I had 5 jobs of delivery driver for Daddy-O's on Hurdle. I was the cab driver for Liberty.
Oh, you was doing it all.
Like,
you was doing it all.
I was at the bottle return.
Wow.
For cans. Like I was just getting it, just getting, just so I can stay busy. Like one thing that I don't like is too much time, because I feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm not I can be doing this instead of doing that. So everything, I just started young as a hustle. And it came to a point in time where it was like, where do you see yourself now?
Yeah.
And then me and my partner, actually, who's been my friend for like 13 years now, since in high school. I remember first meeting him inside the men bathroom rapping. Like, that's how we first met. Like, he was he was on his.
Was he any good, or you guys?
I won't lie, he was. He was. 'Cause back at that time, Cassidy was popping.
Okay, yeah, Cassidy.
He had that Cassidy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. So I remember just me and him in the bathroom, and then from there we just kicked from sports, from conversation and things like that. And then it came to a day where we both sat down and we just thinking like, what can we do to get money? But it came to that point because we have the conversation all the time.
Yeah.
What can we do? What can we do? And it's not so much what can we do, it's much like the legal way.
Yeah.
Because you don't want that bad energy, so you want that good vibe. So it came to the point where we were just thinking we got to do something. Working a 9 to 5 is not cutting it.
Yeah.
And most of the time, people say the streets, but if you think up here, then you know. And if you're a real hustler, you know how to get it.
Yeah.
So it came to that conversation, and we just thought, it's like, well, you do the moving. He was already in the process of landscaping. Like, he already had everything gone. And then it just came together like, okay, well, we're going to do the moving. We're going to do the landscaping, but we're going to take it serious.
Wow.
And from that point, it's just, we shook each other's hand. And then next thing I know, this is a story I tell everybody. I'm so happy to say this. I counted $10,000 with my best friend at the table.
That's got to be a dope moment.
The legal legal money. So happy.
That's dope, man.
So happy.
That's
It's one of the best things. Like,
It was up there.
The thing with me is, I'm going to shine with people around me.
Yeah.
That's also shining. That want to shine. I'm going to bring people inside the business who I see in them the greatness. You know what I'm saying? So when we had that meeting and we both just sat and just smiled at the money, it wasn't even about the money. It's the fact that we actually did it.
The execution part of it, just actually laying it out.
Like, we said, how are we gonna do? What can we do to get money?
Yeah.
And then when you finally meet at the table like a boss and count money with your friend, that's the best feeling,
man.
That's the best
dope.
feeling.
Great feeling.
So it came from all the young just hustling from then to now to me and him just taking this moving and landscaping serious.
Brian, anything you want to add to, or not, Cordell, anything you want to add to that?
Very similar to him. I started off very early just trying to get into a lot of things. I was more so big on sports. I played basketball, and then my brothers and played basketball, badminton, everything like that. And I started kind of using my basketball skills to trying to see if I can further my life another way than just trying to play the streets because, obviously it's different when you're out there. But I definitely took the basketball route of more serious than other people around me. Stayed in the gym.
Yeah.
And I kind of caught myself being around a lot of good mentors in the sense like my coaches, my the assistant coach for JV. Shout out Dennis Wilson. He was one of those people who kind of like gave me ends to like make money, handing out flyers. Going door to door. I remember tearing up every block from East Ferry, South Buffalo, any edge of Buffalo you could think of. There was a flyer there. Same way we do it now. We go boom, 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 every street we can. And then, so he was one. And then I started doing a lot of landscaping. Shout out to my head coach, Randy Rich. That's like a father to me. And he kind of put me on to doing landscaping stuff. I remember he left me at the house. Like, hey, just put these posts in here. And by the time he came back, I had a whole fence up.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm actually decent at this stuff. So I just to get really good at doing it. Cutting the grass. I just like being outside. So cutting the grass where, like you say, you move, you get $20.
Yeah.
We used to make $10 shoveling, $5 shoveling snow. That was like a big hustle at that point in time. So that's how we kind of started. And like you said, I did coaching. I still coach to this day. And I did healthcare, sales, really good at sales. And I'm like, I don't really like working for nobody at all. It's cool. It's nice. I like the security. But what can I do for myself to kind of push myself to the next level? And that's kind of where that conversation came out. Like, you do this, I do this. Let's do it together. And whatever happens from here, we'll just figure it out as we go along.
I love it, man. I love it. What was the lock-in like to say, you know what, we got to lock into this business?
I mean, I would say at least for me, it's definitely harder than it seems, especially when you have like the friendship that we have, and we, like you say, lock in. We've been locked in for 13, 14 years. Come September, and the loyalty thing is just having a mutual respect and understanding, and on morals and values. And I feel like a lot of people kind of change their values and morals when it comes to like monetary things a lot. And I feel like we kind of came from nothing, so we understand what that feels like to have nothing. So once we get these things, it's like we hold them more so near and dear than try to use it to be like, oh yeah, I got this now. And, I mean, it's totally different. So when you're sitting down with a friend, especially, you know, with the noise, the people like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Friends and business don't mix. I mean, we do understand that a lot of stuff comes with the territory. So when those bumps and grinds come, we either going to handle them like friends and continue to grow, or you split. And I mean, that's just what happens. You're going to have your ups and downs in life, whatever you do. And I just feel like we actually managed to do very well, to whereas he's very, you know, very on hands and really with it. And I'm like kind of like the laid back. What's the reason? You know what I mean? So the opposites attract.
How to have that balance.
You gotta have that balance. For me, it was more of just, it's in the bloodline, like the loyalty. I'm able to spot out. I guess it's a gift. I'm able to tell the positive from the negative. I'm able to see if you're trying to help yourself or not. I'm also able to put you in a position to help you. And from Cordell, it just started from 14 years ago. Like we have been through from high school to college to grown-ups now. I done lived with him, he done lived with me. I done met his mama, his whole family, he met my whole family. It's like my sisters call them brothers now. So it's like, it's just that bond that we created. And when you in partnership with someone, it gets rocky, but it doesn't separate, because for one, money is materialistic. Anything that's materialistic don't hold value. And so it don't matter about the money, because before it was money, it was a friendship. So why would we let money separate us now? If anything, money brings people closer, especially the ones that's still around. Because if you was around back then, you're gonna still be around now, because now you get treated with way more respect than for the people that just got their hands out. And honestly, for me, I've been through so much to the point where some people's opinion doesn't matter. Especially if it's negative, because if you have something negative to say about somebody's business, I would just hold that to myself or go start a business better than that business. I won't give out no more negative vibes to nobody. I don't accept negative vibes, because where I'm at in my life right now, it's a blessing to even still be breathing. So I don't take negative vibes. A lot of times I show as if I don't care, and it's just more as if it's not deep. It's not that deep to me. We've been through so much. Like, why do I gotta hold this on my shoulder for? I'm blessed right now. Why do I gotta hold that negativity inside my heart? So it's just about staying loyal to yourself, your morals, knowing that can't nobody break what you stand on, and you gotta stand on it.
When somebody's trying to hire you, what sets you guys apart as far as a moving business?
From other moving companies? It's real easy. Instead of the way I made it design up is, you call moving companies and you probably talk on the phone for like 30 minutes. I made it so simple. You give me a call, I answer it, I ask you, you tell me what you say, this is blase. I'm calling you because I heard you do moving. I said, okay, thank you. I made it very simple for you. Is this a cell phone you calling me from? By the time she said yes, I already sent the message. Now the message is things that say how many boxes, how many dressers, how many lamps, refrigerator, stove, etc. Send that back to me, I give you the best price in Buffalo.
Wow. How does it feel, I guess, starting a business in your own community? Like, you know, a lot of people say, like, Buffalo, you got to move out to do things and to grow. And to actually, I also want to add to this, is then hiring people that look like us is important. So how does that feel to get to that point?
You're going to be stuck here and feel like this is all you have if you don't have any ambition. I feel like that's number one of people who talk about Buffalo is not for me. They say it and they stay. And if it don't work, it's obviously not just Buffalo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like Buffalo is one of those places, because I'm not from here, but I was raised here, and I feel like this is part of me. I am Buffalo, you know what I mean? Probably even more so than I am from Detroit at this point. But when you hear and you in this community and you kind of see when you grow up everything that's helping, I mean, or just surrounding you, you kind of get either the vibe to coincide with what the negative is doing, or you rise above and do something different. And I feel like the surrounding people that's around me, and it's like 7 of us who's been friends for this long, everybody's doing their own thing in some type of way.
Yeah.
And when you see people around you doing it like they're your peers, you know, at this point in time, peer evaluation is more important than most things.
Yeah.
How your friends look at you and what your friends is doing is more important than what your parents is saying half the time.
Very true.
So I was, you know, we were lucky enough to have people around us who always wanted to do something outside of just, you know, typically just chase girls and play in the streets. So like when you come back and you look at us now and then we look at the community that we're in and the work that we're doing, I feel like I'm just at home helping people that we love, the people that we grew up with, the people that surrounding us. That's kind of where brothers and company come from. We're the brothers who like to keep the company that we love close to us.
I love that.
That's the best way to put it. So we're Buffalo's, we're our home, where we grow up, and the people around us are like family, and we want to treat them as such. You want to be fair to family, so like when we say we want to move you, we don't want to crack you over the head.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we're going to be fair. You know what I mean? Fair is fair. And I feel like that's kind of where we kind of stand on it.
You got anything you want to add to that?
For me, is if I can't make it in my city first, I'm not looking for no other place. I'm going to conquer here first. A lot of people say Buffalo, not for me. I'm going to go try another place and make it out there because they feel like there's not enough support here.
Right.
Here's my thing to that. If you make it to where, say if you're selling a shirt, if the shirt is not a good shirt, you're not going to buy it.
Right.
But if you make a good shirt, they're going to buy it. So instead of complaining, how about you make something that people want to buy? Or start a business that is an everyday thing that people need every day. If you can't conquer Buffalo because you think it's not enough opportunity, you know how many rich people it is in Buffalo? It's not full of poor people.
Right.
It's a lot of people with businesses. So if you can't start here and make something of yourself, how can you jump in another lake and try to swim? It's not, I mean, people does it. They do it all the time. But me personally, I'm going to take over my city first. My city's going to know Bros and Company. And like I was telling some of the workers, because we had a job in Rochester a couple of days ago, and I said, we just going to take a weekend on me, and we just going to go out in Rochester, because in Buffalo, we hit up all the gas stations, all the cars, any big event. We out there. We don't even got to go to the event. If the event is over at 9, I'm out there at 8 o'clock because I know everybody about to leave. There's a flyer on your car. There's a flyer on your car. So it's going to be the same thing in Rochester when we take that weekend, just to branch out. But first, it's going to start in Buffalo.
Let me just interrupt real quick. So do you think like that skill set, I think with any business, like the strategy that you're putting in, the work that you're putting in to spread awareness about your business, and some people think you put a flyer on Facebook and then that's it, and then you're mad that nobody is liking it, nobody's sharing it. So you have to put in the work.
I'm glad you said yes. Do not start a business and think it just runs off social media.
Yeah.
Where's your work at?
Yeah.
Where's your work? You got to show your work. That's old school. A lot of people don't put the work in anymore. They go off the word of mouth, or if you're popular.
Yeah.
That just goes off the word of mouth. Now, if I'm out here every day and you see me every day, it's like the same thing like when you buy ads.
Yeah.
If you only hear the ad one time, you're not going to remember it.
Yeah.
If you hear one song you don't like, I don't like that song, but then you hear it 10 times, now you like that
Why
song.
am I singing this song?
You have to put the work in. Don't matter how popular you is. Don't matter how big your business is. If you're not out there putting the work in, you're not going to receive the right blessing for your business.
Yeah.
Because it all starts with work. You got to get them hands dirty.
Yeah.
You got to.
That's a good point.
At first, it was difficult.
Yeah.
Because people, when they move, they don't understand that your stairway is not the same as your last one. Your hallways is not the same. your house is different.
Yeah.
So they think they can fit a box spring up the stairs that turns.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
So at first it was difficult, but now for certain things I ask customers what level floor.
Yeah.
That way I know if I'm on the first floor or on the second. If it's on the second, that's fine. Anything above the second is an extra small fee added to the price, unless it's the elevator. If it's an elevator, that's cool. How big is the elevator? Can you send me a picture of the elevator? Because then that goes to how long am I going to be low in this elevator?
Right.
How many trips do I got to take on this elevator to get to the 8th floor? So all that goes in with the list and the price. So again, at first it was difficult, but then you understand, for example, when you got to take a door off.
Yeah.
Because the couch won't fit. I'm used to it by now. So just that I barely even charge for it because it's just a door. I'm going to take your door off for you. If one thing we don't do is balconies. I would not put a couch, a refrigerator, a bag, a couch pillow. I would not go over your balcony. And I got to say this because people look at me like I'm wrong for this.
Yeah.
And I'm not. If it doesn't fit in your house, when I take your doors off, it doesn't fit. And you say, go over the balcony, I would not do it. For my own reasons, for my own company reason. For your reason, I would not damage your items. I would not put my workers in a position to damage your items. So I would just say call somebody else. But again, they never know. They just move and want us to move. And I'm so used to it now. Just certain things I ask customers is what level floor? Do your bed got to be broken down? One thing I always say, do I have to take your refrigerator doors off to get it in the house?
Those are the worst.
The worst. If I got to take your refrigerator door off, please tell me now. Because once I get there,
Is that like a tedious process to take the
it's 2
refrigerator
hours.
doors?
Oh, it's 2 hours.
Oh, really?
2
Wow.
hours. If you don't tell me, because I don't know what kind of refrigerator you got. It can be a basic one. It can be a difficult one. But if you tell me yes, send me a picture. That way I know what tools to bring. Same thing with taking your bed down.
Wow.
I need to know because that would take a 2-hour process, which means my next job is running late. And because they're running late, you have to pay for that fee.
Wow.
The fun part is when the guys in your team is on time in uniform. And when I say team, this is your friends that you know for years.
Yeah.
This is somebody you just met, but the vibe is cool. This is a team you getting money with.
Yeah.
So that's the fun.
Exciting,
And
yeah.
then when
Yeah,
it
so
comes
you
to the
win for
boxes,
sure.
it's
Yeah.
so sweet. Just run a
Yeah.
nice train. You take that box, run that train. So it's the way we got it set up. Is it make it sound easy, but it's not. But we got it trained so well. That's why we number one because the way we process things and the way we leave the customers is always they were so fast. I had a customer right on Facebook the other day. We moved her 3-bedroom in 35 minutes.
Wow.
From upstairs.
And
Upstairs?
it's
Wow.
not like it's a race like this. It's just that we're so used to it now. It just first thing on the list is boxes. Then you get the bed. Then you get the couches. Then you move to the refrigerator and stove. It's just so used to it that your body just automatically goes straight for it.
Wow.
We make it fun though. Yeah, we make it real
Oh,
easy.
yeah,
And then
fun.
I feel like for us it's like we're goofy, we're outgoing people in general. So the customers feel it, our consumers feel it.
Yeah.
And they be like, these guys are funny. Like they're having a good time on a move where they can typically be stressed because moving is very stressful.
Right.
You got to worry about where the dog at if you got dogs. You know what I mean? It's so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
If everything is like, out of place, it turns everybody up. But when you come in with a different energy and vibe, people forget that it's even a moving job.
Yeah.
It seems like the family is at the house. You know what I mean? Clowning around, having fun.
Seriously.
Crack jokes and everything like that with the people, and they enjoy that. It's not just like we're just taking breaks, smoking, sitting down for an hour and a half.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're getting to it, and as we're doing that, we're still engaging with the people. You know what I mean, that we're supposed to, making them feel welcome, so we feel more welcome to do whatever we need to do. So it's not, because it can be awkward sometimes in a moving place. You know what I mean? Wife yelling at the husband.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so much.
Don't move that yet. Move this. This ain't going down.
Man, you know what I'm saying? You might start talking to us outside. When they move, but, like, that's just how it is. But when you give them that good energy and that good vibe, the work environment, you know what I mean? If you ever work certain places, you're like, you're so fun. When you excited to get up and work, nobody complaining.
That's
That's
true.
another thing I would say. The workers is like they good guys. It's not like they're bad guys. They're funny. They laughable. They joke a lot. They carry themselves with good energy. So when you meet them, it's not like you like this. It's like Oh, he's interesting.
Yeah.
So definitely the team is where it's at. The team is definitely the best.
For sure.
So I want to ask you, what was kind of one of the most challenging movie experience you had to go through since these last few years?
What's your favorite?
Nah, you go
My favorite.
You go first.
My favorite. Oh man, it's when we tried to take the lady stuff upstairs and nothing would fit. Literally nothing would fit, and we had to just like it was like a weird stair, and it was just so narrow. And we got to a point where like she was like, "Well, y'all not gonna grab the rest of my stuff." I was like, "Well, you didn't pay for that. We went over this before." You know what I mean? She was like, "Well, I ain't paying y'all," and we were just like, just took her stuff off the truck.
Like, here you go.
Like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's over. We gonna make sure y'all good.
Yeah.
We leaving. And that for me, that was like by far one of the worst.
That's the one.
Yeah.
She started calling people. I said, "Oh,
Wow.
you know
like,
what?
This is ridiculous.
This little $200 is not worth
Not
it.
worth
Like,
it.
I'm gonna make this tomorrow, lady. Like,
Yeah.
we already
That
moved
was
your
worse.
stuff. You got the free move out of us.
Yeah.
And she kind of, but with that challenge, she helped alter how we started to do certain things. We started
Wow.
doing everything totally different after that.
Wow.
So it helped though for sure.
It's always, I notice, like, I do some real estate as well, and I think one of my challenging client that I had that just like got under my skin, just was like on me from detail to detail, and it pushed how I worked with other people. And sometimes, like, through your challenges, you do find like those people actually make you think, okay, I ain't think about this part, or I ain't think about getting that signature or getting a deposit, certain things on how you do your business. So I think that's always good to learn from.
Yeah, we need a lot of those. We had
That's
so
pretty
many
much
of
what it
those.
was.
Yeah.
The deposit.
Yeah.
It
Definitely
helps build
was
it
deposit.
makes the business stronger though.
Yeah,
When you have
definitely.
those little bumps and grinds, that especially like we said before, those bumps and grinds, that definitely changes the whole experience and alters how you're going to move forward for the future.
Yeah.
Because if you don't make those changes, you're going to lose a lot of money. You might lose a lot of potential customers because you're not doing exactly what you need to do, and nobody wants that. So.
Cool. So let's jump into the landscaping. So what sets you apart from in far as the landscaping?
Like I said, being personable.
Yeah.
People liking us. I feel like the way we carry ourselves. Because I know like most people will see us, and if you just see a picture of us, and everybody has their idea when they see certain things, but most people, especially, which is kind of tough, like when we talk about the Buffalo and city and where you come from, how people look at you a certain way.
Yeah.
They look at you and they be like, oh well, they just some black people moving,
Yeah.
or black people doing landscaping.
Yeah.
They don't look at us as professionals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're younger than most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like when they see us, it's like they already have like a preconceived notion of what we are until they meet us, and we're totally different from the normal people.
Yeah.
We look the part because this guy loves. You see how he matches. You know what I mean?
The drip.
Came
You
up
got
with
the
idea. Yeah, it's like let's look like a full team.
Yeah.
Because if we just come look any type of way, they're not gonna respect us. They already don't respect us now.
Right.
They don't. You know what I mean? So we have to earn their respect. We have to look a certain way. We have to move a certain way. But also be yourselves, because if you're not gonna be yourself, then you're cheating yourself, obviously, and other people. So
You know what? I want to follow up on that piece. I know a lot we get it from the external community that you may not be taken serious because of, again, being black and so forth. But sometimes I notice it happens within our own.
it's probably, to be totally honest,
Yeah.
it might be a little worse sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they feel like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You have like I said, we're very fair.
Yeah.
And I think we're bend over for people, if especially with certain circumstances with people, because everybody don't have it.
Right.
But that's the whole point about us trying to be personable and kind of like gauge how we can help you,
Yeah.
help us in a sense. So I feel like sometimes it's worse from the inner community because they feel like we should be doing them a favor
Right.
because we are of color.
Or that you just do moving. I think sometimes even in that industry, like, oh, you guys just do moving and landscaping. What's so big about that? And not pay your value of what the service that you provide, because I think that happens a lot too.
There's so much that go into it.
Yeah.
Especially like when you think about moving, right? It's a lot of manual man labor.
Yeah.
It's not no sit at a desk and not saying there's nothing wrong with it,
Yeah.
because I did it before. It can be fun for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's not It's not that. It's taking up a lot of energy.
I think because they see how we make it look easy, sometimes they just think like they can just move this couch, refrigerator, and stove no problem. I give them $150 because they see me post so much, or we post so much of how fast we move, or what the customers say, the reviews and things like that. They sometimes forget that it's still hard work, even though we make it look easy.
For landscaping, it's just as simple. We don't charge people for quotes. I know some companies do. Just to come out there, because if you don't do the job, then they feel like they wasted their time. I don't feel like I'm wasting my time. If anything, you might be a potential customer or a client for something else, or I might be able to relate you to somebody else for something else, even though it's not personally through us. You know what I mean? So we get free quotes right there alone. We're already cutting out a lot of people for us to be like, oh, come out there. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. Just send us the address. We'll come, we'll check it out, and then we'll go over something and we'll work out something with you. Because again, I always say work out. Especially, we set a tone for ourselves, because we know what it takes to do what we need to do.
Right.
But again, everybody doesn't meet the expectation for pay all the time. So we want to be fair with people. So if I know you don't got this, I'll work with you if it's not going to, damage or hinder what we have going as a company.
And so, like, moving, how I say I send a text message out? It's different with landscaping. I would like to meet you. I like to interact with my customer face to face. So when you do call us and we say, hey, just send me the address, I'm gonna come quote you, whether it's grass cutting, mulching, or a full yard cleanup. We still come out and give you that quote just so you can see us in full gear, and so we have that conversation, so we professional, we know what we're doing. So it's more of interacting with the customer with landscaping than moving, just sending a text message. Some customers do say, well, can you come check it out? I don't want to waste my time, to be honest with you. You have to pay for me to come check out everything you need me to move. Landscape, I'm come out there for free, just so you can see that I'm about this business. We're professional.
So I want to go into what advice you get. Before actually we go about the advice, I want to talk about the magazine that you guys were featured in. You want to talk a little bit about that in that moment of actually, getting that feature.
Two.
It's panoramic. This is the second, my third.
His third.
A third feature. Oh, man, look at it.
Second business one.
Yeah,
business
that's dope.
With Bros and Company.
Shout out to Dennis Wilson for doing his thing.
Dennis been like, he's been in our lives for a while. Like,
Dennis is the man.
Yeah, from being my basketball coach to, we both used to work at the Oak Room, from dishwashing to prep cooking to passing out flyers.
Wow.
It's funny because we really used to pass out flyers to Wilson for his parties. It'd be me and him just hit the whole city. So now we actually do what he do. And one day in the Oak Room, we had Wilson take a picture with our flyer. And just to bring
that's
it,
dope.
the cycle, it was so
That's
good.
dope.
It was so good. So this is our second magazine with our business in it.
That's dope.
The first one was awesome. The whole Bros and Company team came out there. We had wings. We enjoyed the other leaders out there that was in the magazine. Second one was just as amazing. They had merch there to buy and stuff. They had food and drinks, things like that. We got to interact with people. We seen different business in there. It was just great to be part of that for a second time.
Putting all these people together and all these different brilliant minds that you typically probably wouldn't even know on a day-to-day if you see people out. You know what I mean? That these people are business owners and they're doing something outside of the ordinary.
I would first say, believe in yourself. Stand on everything you believe in. If you say you're going to do it, do it. Whatever you want to do it, but do it 100%. I would say if you're building a business, do not worry about supporters. Don't worry about who comment. Don't worry about it. Just keep being consistent. Keep promoting yourself. Keep promoting your business. If you don't got a business, whatever it is you want to do, if you want to work, you see yourself 3 years from now, 5 years from now doing something, take every step necessary to reach that goal, whether it take you a year or 2 years. Just keep stepping. Don't feel like you got to take a step back because that person's business is booming and yours is falling back. No, use that person as positive. Maybe have a conversation with that person so you can see why or how your business can once be like that. I will also tell them, keep positive people around you, people that want to see you do good. Because if you have bad, people don't realize energy is everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's like the number. It used to be like feelings, love, all that. It's energy. How you move, how you carry yourself that's what we read now.
The more you try to control certain things and you kind of hold on to it, it gets heavier, it gets heavier, it gets heavier, and you hold on to something for no reason and putting yourself in a little spot where you feel like you can't get out of. And we all been there. And sometimes we just need a little. It can come from your grandmother, it can come from one of your best friends. Like, yo, you talented. And you might really believe it because they really mean it. So those genuine souls and energies that you keep around you, for sure, definitely changes the aura. Like, I had a Randall Rich. I had a Dennis Wilson. I had a Ziggy in my life, you know what I mean? To kind of be like, yo, you got this. You can do it.
I never had the dream of being a mover. I never said I want to be a mover when I grow up. It just happens, man. And it stuck with me.
Yeah.
I just see myself doing this and then moving on forward. I see myself for a lot of things that I got going on. I'm not going to speak on everything too early, but we're just going to keep moving, taking steps and levels because Bros and Company, we are moving the landscape and it's going to be a lot more.
And keep pushing, guys. I mean, I really admire what you guys are doing out there. And like I said, you raising the bar as well, and that's good. It's just like keep pushing, breaking barriers. Shout out to Daniel. But yeah, just you guys can continue doing what you're doing. Make sure you check them out for any moving services that you need, and so go out and support them. Got their emails, phone numbers in there, so you can go check them out. Always got discounts. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Empower716. I am your host, Rob Lowry, and this is a show for entrepreneurs, business owners, side hustlers, career shifters, those who are committed to growing their life and business. And so we'd like to showcase and highlight entrepreneurs and business owners across Western New York who are doing some tremendous things, not only for their business, their lives, but for the community as well. And so this is a place. And so I'm glad that you are either listening to us via audio podcast or watching us on this replay or live. So appreciate you. If you want to let us know how you feel about the show and also just show support, doesn't cost you much. Just like, share, comment, and give us some feedback and go from there. So I have a pleasure to have in the building or house, however you want to call it, another business owner. We're going to talk a lot about fitness and in particular women's fitness. And so I have Teaira Leslie from Waist Talk Fitness. She is the owner. And so she's going to come and tell us about her entrepreneurial journey. And we're going to learn some stuff about fitness as well and all the great things that she's doing. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So how's life in general? I just want to, do a check-in.
Life is good.
Yeah.
Life is good. Busy.
Yeah.
Very busy. It's good to stay busy. It's good.
Good.
Can't complain.
Good stuff. And it's the weather is getting a little better, so that
It's a hit or miss.
yeah,
Sorta.
yeah, it goes back. Obviously we're in Buffalo and the weather can change night and day. So
Got my Uggs right next to the door in case.
just in case, I feel you. So I want to tell me. I always like to start my question off with who is Teaira? How do you define her?
Teaira is a 28-year-old driven, independent woman. I grew up in Buffalo, New York. Been here all my life.
Yeah.
Born and raised here. I've been kind of growing up a little bit of everywhere. I was on the west side a little bit. I was on the east side a little bit. Currently, right now, I'm in North Tonawanda, so kind of sort of everywhere, growing and learning, just growing and learning.
So I'm interested to know why Waist Talk Fitness. I want you to kind of walk us through your journey and how before we get to your opening your own business. Like, what led you here?
So, my journey. So a couple years ago, unfortunately, I lost my dad, and I was trying to find a way to cope with it. We all grieve different ways.
Yes.
And my grievance was just working out. Like, I would go to the gym and I would just work out, and I just keep working out. And then eventually it got to a point where I was working out so much that people started to see
Yeah.
the results. And I'm like, oh, okay. People starting to, they can tell them working out. So it got to a point where I hired a trainer just to get a little bit more insight into the training thing.
Yeah.
And I actually trained a couple friends for free just to see how good I was.
Yeah.
Didn't charge them at all. I'm like, let me just see, because if I can do this, then maybe I can, finesse my way and do it with other people. So
Right.
I got 3 different body sizes. I got a skinny girl, I got a medium girl, and I got a big girl. And I trained them all, and they all came out with good results.
Wow.
So I'm like, maybe I could do this. At first it wasn't a thing where I ever thought I was going to open my own gym. It wasn't a thing where I thought this was going to be my career. It was just something that I just enjoyed doing personally. And it was kind of a getaway for me because it kind of took my mind off of reality for a minute. So that's kind of where that came from. It was more so of a grievance thing. And in turn, like when I'm going through anything in life or anything personally, that's my go-to. It's just working out.
I want to talk a little bit about what you did before opening your business as far as the field that you worked in.
So before opening, I worked in the hospital. I was always in the hospital. I was at Roswell for about 5 years. I started off environmental service at Roswell, worked my way up to a CNA is what they call it there. Then I worked my way up to a lab tech. From the lab tech, I kind of was like, this isn't it.
Yeah.
And then I kind of transitioned to another hospital because, I'm a type of person that needs to change the scenery.
Yeah.
So, like, after 5 years, I'm like, all right, it's something new's got to happen. So I ended up going to Kimmer Mercy Hospital where I did phlebotomy. So I did outpatient, which is people would come in and I would draw their blood. And then I would do inpatient, which is we'd go to the floors of the patients in the hospital and draw their blood. And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then everything changed once COVID hit. Rules started to change. You started to see people not really caring about your health. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of my managers, they didn't really care about like their employees' health. And I didn't really like that because it's like at the time, even though I didn't have my own space, I was still running out of space. And I didn't want to put anybody's health in jeopardy because, my job didn't care about mine. So I'm like, yeah, it's time to go.
It's time to go. Now, I want to talk about, because I have a similar experience, obviously working a full-time job and then trying to manage your business on the side, gradually. But I want you to kind of walk us through that, like, okay, this is it. I quit. I'm going to start it on my own, because that takes a lot to get to that point, because it's scary.
It was the moment that I knew that it was time to go was when they started to mandate us to draw COVID patients. Like, we didn't have a choice. We weren't getting paid hazard pay. And then they were like, well, if you get sick or if you catch COVID, if you don't have any symptoms, you still have to come to work.
Wow.
That right there, I'm like, I didn't even put my 2 weeks in. Like, the day that they sent the email out of the mandate, I literally slid my badge to my manager and I said, this is it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm taking my health first.
Exactly.
It's nothing against, they tried to pull the whole discrimination card, but it's nothing, it's like, what about us, though, So it's like, that's like a spit in our face. Because if you know that we have COVID and you know that we're sick, you're still mandating us to come to work.
To work, yeah.
And then they tried to pull well, if you don't come to work, then that's liable for termination. It was just so much.
Yeah.
And then my patience was it was just already skyrocketed because of COVID and everything that was going on with the booster shot and the mandate. It was just too much mandating. And I'm like, I prayed about it a lot. And I asked God, I said, listen, I'm going to take this leap of faith, but I just need you to walk me through. Because I know it's going to be times where business is going to slow down. And, I know there's going to be times where money's not coming in as much as it is.
Yeah.
But I literally pray, and I'm like, God, if this is what you want me to do, I just need you to walk me through it. I have my mental breakdowns, but I know that you'll pick me back up. So, literally didn't even put my 2 weeks in.
I hear that.
I slid my badge, and I'm like, I'm out. And then everybody was like, you really just gonna leave and not, I was per diem, so I'll pick up when I want.
Gotcha.
And it was like, you're never here anyway, you just gonna leave? And I'm like, exactly. So I slid my badge, and I remember walking out in my car, and I was just breathing. I'm like, okay, so you did it. You did it. And I told myself from that day, I said, you gotta go hard and act like you have a upper, like, you know, when you have a job, you have someone to answer to.
Yeah.
So when you're an entrepreneur, the only person you're answering to is your business.
Yeah.
So it's like, I kind of compared it. I'm like, if you can get up at 5 a.m. for these people and go to a job, why can't you do it for your business?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, I sat in the car and I told myself that, and I'm like, all right, so you're going to get up at 5 a.m. Monday through Friday, and you're going to train whoever want to wake up at 5 a.m. And that's just what I've been doing ever since I quit. And it's just like, God's been blessing me like every day since.
Wow.
So before I opened up my own spot, I was at Rep Fitness in the Tri-Main Center, and I was paying somebody rent
Gotcha.
to have my clients there. But it got to a point where it wasn't like uncomfortable. It's like different with women working out with men.
Yeah.
What I've learned. And it's like, it wasn't uncomfortable for me, but it was uncomfortable for my clients. And you can pick up that energy when you're training.
Yeah.
And like my clients, like I'm so close to my clients that they tell me like, listen, I don't, and in turn that made me lose out on clients. So it's like, it was good, and it was a good stepping stone, but
Absolutely.
that was literally Tri-Main. And then I worked at Crunch for like a day, and then I left because the commission that they was taking out just didn't make any sense for me to go there. So really Tri-Main is like where it all started.
Nice. So I want you to give us the purpose or reasoning for Waist Talk Fitness.
So the purpose for Waist Talk Fitness is just to allow women to be comfortable in their skin. Like a lot of us, especially nowadays, you see on TikTok how a lot of men are recording women in the gym or just being creepy, you know?
Yeah.
So at first when I opened Waist Talk Fitness, I had a male trainer. I had a female trainer. I had a male trainer. I never intended for it to be a women's only gym.
Yeah.
But as business started to grow and my target audience, which is now all women, started to grow, I'm like, you know, maybe I should just make this a women facility and just make it an all women's gym.
Yeah.
And then make it comfortable for women to, you know, want to work out and not be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You can tell like the shift difference between my clients when they come in the gym and then when they go into a regular gym. Like half of them, they always tell me like, I don't want to be knowing what to do in the gym. And I'm like, well, that's why I'm here. So, you know, it's just more so like a comfortability level with women, just to feel comfortable in their skin and just be comfortable working out. I think the comfortability has a lot to do with confidence, what I'm learning.
Yeah.
A lot of women, they go to the gym and they are 9 times out of 10, the girls that's there, they have experience with working out and they're buff and fit and lifting crazy. But a lot of women that I run into, like I said earlier, they don't really know what they're doing.
Right.
You know, and they're ashamed of how they look because, you know, I have a lot of moms. They're ashamed of how, you know, the before mom body looked before having a kid. So I think it has a lot to do with like just building someone's confidence. Like I build a lot of people's confidence. I can tell, like just the comfortability level of just opening up. Like a lot of people say that they, like the gym is like their mental release, which in turn for me, that's what it was for me when my dad passed. It was like a release, a stress release. So I try to just bring that into my studio.
How does one like change and get that momentum going and not kind of like fall off?
So what I'm learning is that 9 times out of 10, the people that join the gym is chasing the results.
Yeah.
They're not chasing the actual lifestyle. So when you chase the results, it's easy for you to fall off.
Yeah.
Completely easy. Like you said, you went from 4 days to 1 day.
Yeah.
That's kind of normal for people, you know? So what I suggest, I never suggest, like say, for instance, I have a new client and people ask me all the time, well, how many days should I start?
Yeah.
And my first question is, well, have you ever had a trainer? If you tell me no, I'm like, all right, so let's just start off 2 days. You know, 2 days, let's see how you feel, if this is what you really want to do.
Yeah.
And then we'll gradually increase 3 days. And then we'll gradually increase 4 days. You know, I never start people off at the high end because it never fails. You always go back because it could be so overwhelming. And then you can lose motivation because once again, you're chasing the results. You're not chasing the habit.
Yeah.
I've learned that a lot of times when my clients start off 2 days a week, they get so comfortable with coming, then they want to increase it to 3 days. They want to increase it to 4 days, you know? So I think it's a more so just baby steps instead of just hopping right in and thinking that it's just going to be all funny. It's not. I be telling people too, I be like, listen, this is not, I mean, these results and stuff that you see online, these people are working. So with all my clients, teach them macros. Like macros, you know, is your protein, your fat,
Yeah.
and your carbs. So I'm just going to run you through a typical first day.
Yeah.
You know, so something that I do with all my clients, no matter if you are a returning client, no matter if you're a bodybuilder, I need to physically see where you are. So I do something called a fit test. It's just a full body test, just to see where you are, just so in my head I can create a regimen for you. You know, that takes about 30 minutes. Sessions are about 40 minutes, so that takes about 30 minutes. The last 10 minutes, I do nothing but talk about nutrition. Your whole 10 minutes, we're talking about nutrition.
Nice.
The importance of nutrition. I'm sending you meal guides. I'm personalizing your macro numbers right in front of you. I have this app that I have every last one of my clients track their food on. I show them through the app. I walk them through the app. You know, these are your personal numbers. You need to follow these numbers. I even allow them a snack meal. A snack, like, I'm guilty of M&M frappe or M&M McFlurry. I tell my clients this all the time. That's my one snack cheat meal for the day is an M&M McFlurry, because that's it according to my macros. So I just sit them down and I tell them, you know, I don't expect you to be 100% with your nutrition, especially if you're just starting out. We're human. I allow all my clients one cheat meal a week. Go crazy on one cheat meal a week. Do what you got to do, but just know that when you come back, it's going to be 10 times harder working out because of your cheat meal. And it's ironic that we were talking about this because this morning I had one client, she admitted that she's been snacking crazy. And I'm like, what's crazy? And she's like, well, you know, I do good at home, but when I go to work, they have cookies and donuts and stuff in the break room. And I said, okay, I get that, but what's crazy? And she said 5 brownies. I said, you're one person. Why are you eating 5 brownies? And she's like, I don't know, it's just there. So we got down to the fact that she doesn't eat breakfast. And I'm like, okay, so your issue isn't the snacks at work. The issue is that you're not eating breakfast, which is causing you to be hungrier than you will be if you ate breakfast at lunchtime, which causes you to eat 5 brownies. And she was like, that makes sense. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, so let's imagine, you know, you wake up and, you know, you eat some cereal. She said she has a really bad sweet tooth, so I kind of threw out some sweet tooth cereals. But then she switched it up and said, I don't like sweets in the morning. So I'm like, okay, so let's try a bagel. You know, carbs give you more energy, so you wake up a lot more, you know, and you could work that off. So I'm like, okay, so let's work with a bagel, cream cheese, and fruit. I'm like, let's try that. And I told her, I said, if you eat that, I can guarantee you those 5 brownies will turn into 1 because you won't be as hungry during lunch because you ate breakfast. So I kind of try to just stress the importance of eating 3 times a day plus a snack because we are human. I would never tell anyone to cut off a snack when I'm over here eating a McFlurry. It doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
I just try to be like as realistic as possible. I'm not the trainer to tell you to cut out red meat. Like, I don't even cut out red meat. Why am I telling you to cut out red meat? But kind of sort of just, you know, minimizing what you're used to. Not cutting it off, but minimizing. So that's kind of sort of what me and my client came up with. I'm like, she's like, well, I can't cut off brownies. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So let's try minimizing it. Let's go, if you have to eat 5 brownies, let's do 5 brownies Monday, 4 brownies Tuesday, 3 brownies Wednesday, and just keep going down to your body's not really craving the brownies. On top of you eating your breakfast, by the end of the week, the goal is for you not to even have any brownies. So that's kind of where I kind of just manipulate all my clients' minds, and it kind of always works. So, yeah. So I do semi. So semi, I take up to 4 people an hour.
Okay.
And then I do a group class on Saturdays. It's a booty building class because apparently everybody wants to grow their butt nowadays. So I do a group class on Saturdays. We have a live DJ. And then I do online stuff because I do have clients that are not local. So I have online programs that I try to push as much. And then I also do Zoom Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for my people that's still kind of anti-COVID.
So what, I know you kind of explained this already, like what sets you apart from other facilities that's out there, especially for women?
My journey. Like a lot of people don't realize that I've been skinny. I've been big. And I've literally self-taught myself how to eat right. I taught myself certain workouts. I taught myself the business. I taught myself macros. Like, none of this was given. You know, I actually sat and did hours. I taught myself how to make flyers. I taught myself my scheduling. Like, I taught myself how to make my website. It's like self-taught. I self-taught everything to myself. And it took so much time.
Yeah.
And I don't think, like, a lot of trainers, because it's easy for you to just pay somebody to do it. And I don't think a lot of trainers, like, took that personalized time to, like, put into their business, opposed to me, like, down to the LED lights in my studio. Like, I try to make it personal. What color lights you want? Or, like, my clients, they know they could come in and request music. All right, let me put this, on. I have, like, a Nigerian client, and every time she come in, I put on Nigerian music just so she can feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And she be asking, are you Nigerian? I'm like, no, I just like Davido. I'm like, but I know him. So I try to make it real comfortable and real, homey for people. So I feel blessed.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was times where I wanted to give up. I wanted to give up. I'm like, this ain't, what? I ain't seeing no money. I remember when I first opened, and I was just nonstop spending money. Nonstop. And I just keep going. Just keep going. And, man, prayer really works. People be thinking I'll be crazy. I'm like, listen, there's times where I literally ask God, I said, if you don't want me to do this, if you want me to go back to the hospital, just give me a sign.
Let me know. Let me know.
But it's always just a complete opposite. It's a complete opposite. I knew I didn't want to work for nobody. I knew it wasn't gonna last long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, this ain't gonna be it. I'm like, you gotta go hard. Like, I'm the type of person where it's like, if you can do this for someone else's business, why can't you do it for yourself?
Do it for your own. Yeah.
So as far as staying in your own lane, what I call it personally is tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Right? When I go into tunnel vision, it's like nothing or no one is going to stop me.
Yeah.
And I think that's a personal thing that everybody needs to do.
Absolutely.
Because it's like when you're in tunnel vision, it don't matter who doing what. It don't matter what you're doing. For me, when I'm in tunnel vision, I distract all distractions. Like, I eliminate all distractions. Like, I follow a lot of trainers, but when I'm in tunnel vision, I would literally mute trainers. Because it's like, I don't want to see what y'all doing because I'm so focused on what I'm doing. It's just like, I don't want to see that, So within marketing, I kind of put myself in my client's shoes. What I want to see with marketing, right? So my name is Waist Talk Fitness. I came up with the name basically because when I was at TriMate Center and I had those 3 clients, their waist just got sucked in. Yeah. And then my clients always say, girl, look at my waist, look at my waist. So it's like waist talking. So I'm like, oh, that's cute. So I kind of put it together. And I think that kind of sets me aside because you never would think of a name like that.
And it's good to have somebody in that arena because it is so important. And I realize, like, when I do work out, how much, like, healthy I am as far as even just my mindset. And once you get into the rhythm of it, it's just like, okay, this is
what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that's how your body responds too.
Yeah.
Your body like, okay, so we doing this again.
Yep.
And then your body would get excited and then you're just like, oh, and your body, all right, so we're not doing this again. So your body is following you with the journey. That's why I tell all my clients, I'm like, this is a journey. I'm not a quick fix type of accountability coach. Even after me, you're still going to have to, eat healthy. You're still going to have to work out daily. So that's what I try to push on all my clients. And I think that's why I have, like, a really good relationship with all my clients because you got a trainer in me for life. Like, it's never no thing where you stop coming to me, then you don't hear from me. I'm always sending out mass emails, how you doing, how you been. I'm always sending out, personal to my past and current clients, like just personal sales to them, rather I don't post it online or not, but I'll have every client's number, have every client's email address, and they'll definitely hear from me once a month.
Okay, here we go. So balance. Now, I always ask other entrepreneurs and business owners how they balance their life from personal to their business, family, everything else, and obviously enjoying life itself. So how do you balance that?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm still learning the balance thing. I'm very bad at balance right now. And that's the thing that I'm learning. Because I still call myself a new entrepreneur, and I'm still learning that. And I ask, other entrepreneurs. I'm like, man, how do you balance relationships? I don't got time for this. Like, how do you balance, going out of town when you got bills to pay? So I'm still learning the balance thing. Like, even now, like, I've been open for a year and a couple months, and I have not braked. Like, I have not took a vacation yet. Yeah. And I'm learning that my clients need me. Yeah. They don't need half of me. They need all of me. So I'm learning that, all right, it's okay to take a step back and just breathe and relax. And even my clients, they be like, you haven't took, like when I was in Tri-Main, I used to go out of town every month. And even my clients are like, you haven't been out of town much. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to make sure everything's okay. I hired some instructors, so now I'm like comfortable to where I can go out of town and know my space is okay. Yeah. And I'm still bringing in some money while I'm out of town, so it's kind of sort of, I'm still learning that. And having nephews and brothers and sisters and grandmas, and I'm just now getting back on track with checking in with my grandmothers and spending more time with my brothers and my sisters. And then my nephews, all they want to do is play Madden all day, so they don't really care about me unless it's like their birthday or Christmas or something and they want some money. But my niece, I try to get her every Saturday. We do like a girls' day every Saturday. And just I'm learning. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm still learning the balance. It's very tough. It's very tough. I'm still learning though. I'm way better than I was last year. I can say that. Well, like I just mentioned, I hired 2 instructors. Kay Leon, she's a extreme hip hop step aerobics instructor. Nice. So she's having classes every Sunday at the studio. Her classes are from 12:30 to 1:30. So that'll be every Sunday. Her classes are $10 a class. I think she have a couple monthly packages on there. If you go to my Instagram, I'm very big on promoting my women, so she's all over my page. She's all over my stories. She usually books out pretty quick, but she do carry classes throughout Buffalo, New York. So you can check KK out. I also have a yoga and meditation instructor on Sundays. Her name is Jazz. She's also on my page. You can check her out. I'll share her as well. She carries the yoga and meditations on Sunday, Mondays, and Tuesdays. And then I'll be looking into getting about 2 more female trainers within the summertime. So got a lot going on. Yeah.
So we locked in another episode. Just needs you to, for those who are listening on the podcast, appreciate you for listening in. For those who are watching on replay, thank you as well. Make sure you give us some feedback again, like, share. And the goal of the like and share is important because, again, these are the stories that helps all of us. So you never know who is listening. And I think it is so important that if you are on this journey or someone or you're even thinking about it yourself, starting your own journey, and that if you heard the story today, it is not always easy. There's some bumps in the road or there are some things, there's some losses, but you take those things and you use them for your good and you grow from them. And so life is not a one quick fix, make everything work, but we go through journeys and trials and tribulations. And so if you have that goal, that passion to want to start your business and whatever God has put in your life, hopefully these stories will kind of help you put things into perspective to kind of see where you need to be.